and welcome to Ryvis Rambles, where I talk about whatever the f I want. And today I want to talk about the Chinese animation movie Legend of Hei. It's about a cute little cat spirit that turns into a cute little cat boy. His home, a forest, gets destroyed by humans. And on his search for a new home, he meets other humans and spirits who aren't what they seem at the first sight. It's a super cute movie, and I fell in love with it not only because of its adorable story, but also because of its clean and simple animation and art style. I'm gonna talk about the plot with spoilers now, so if you're only interested in my opinion, you can jump to this part. The cat boy's name is Hei, but he's called xiaohei as a diminutive because he's so small. Fun fact, xiaohei means little black, and I have nothing but respect for that creative choice. Due to deforestation by humans, xiaohei loses his home. He flees into the city, and while he's searching for a new home, he tries to avoid humans at all costs, for obvious reasons. He then runs into another spirit, Fengxi, who brings him to their hideout where he meets other spirits. Xiaohei is happy to have found a place he can call his new home and gets comfortable. Shortly after, they are attacked by a human called Wuxian. He's a so-called executor who works for an organization called the Guild. His mission is to capture Fengxi, but the spirits manage to escape, all but xiaohei. Wuxian takes xiaohei with him with the intention to deliver him to the Guild. However, the two start to bond on their way and unwittingly form a teacher-student relationship.
这是什么地方啊？
这是我的灵智空间。
哦。
每个生命体都有属于自己的灵智空间，是储存灵的地方。它的存在是一切生命和能力的基础。
我也有这种地方。
当然。
Since Wuxian can't help but grow fond of that cute little cat boy, he promises to let him go once they reach the shore.
上岸后，你能放我走吗？
好。
真的。
But once they reach the shore, he has to break his promise after all, which made me wonder then why did the plot bring it up at all? In the end, xiaohei has no other choice but to follow Wuxian to the Guild, either willingly or by force. Or well, okay, Wuxian doesn't break his promise entirely, but he changes it a bit. He wants xiaohei to come with him to the Guild, and if he doesn't like it, he's free to leave. On their way, they're attacked by other spirits who turn out to be Wuxian's friends, much to xiaohei's surprise. He didn't know that humans and spirits could get along. Thanks to the spirits, he learns more about the Guild. For example, that it's not a bad place at all. On the contrary, the Guild tries to uphold the harmony between spirits and humans and helps spirits to adjust. But not only that, there are even spirits who work as executors for the Guild as well. The reason why they're trying to capture Fengxi is because his hatred for humans is way too strong and he doesn't want to cooperate with the Guild. Speaking of Fengxi, he and the others have been searching for xiaohei in the meantime, with Fengxi even going so far as to attack other spirits and steal their powers? Turns out that Fengxi wanted xiaohei's powers all along. Xiaohei possesses an ability called Domain, which is one of the strongest powers.
这是领域。
And Fengxi needs it to overpower humanity. But more on that later. Let's get back to xiaohei and Wuxian. So far, the movie has quite a road trip vibes. First they travel on a raft, then a bit by foot, then on a scooter, and lastly on the subway, where xiaohei gets kidnapped by other spirits. But also doesn't matter because Wuxian is quick to rescue him, and xiaohei has a character development. He protected humans.
谢谢你。不用。
While they wait for the guild members to arrive, they're found by Fengxi, who abducts xiaohei and successfully steals his powers. The thing is, while most powers are only temporarily stolen, Domain is permanent, which means xiaohei's life is in danger. To save him, they have to retrieve Domain, which also means we've reached the final showdown. Fengxi creates this huge expanding domain, and Wuxian loses his cool for the first time. He even goes so far as to enter Fengxi's domain to save xiaohei, which is super dangerous because Fengxi is basically the god in his domain and might even be able to take control over Wuxian. While Fengxi and Wuxian are fighting, xiaohei manages to regain his consciousness. Because he has 2 inner spirits and most people usually only have 1 inner spirit, but I have no time to unpack all that. And xiaohei comes to Wuxian's rescue inside Fengxi's domain. Together they defeat Fengxi and save humanity. Wuxian then accompanies xiaohei to the guild hall, which is a magical place indeed, but doesn't stay himself. Because apparently he's too powerful and most people don't feel comfortable with him around. But xiaohei wants to stay with his and Wuxian allows him to join his travels. So first of all, a big recommendation for this movie, especially on a relaxing day. It's mainly calm. It also has fun moments.
到省得我去找你了。
师傅。
Some good action. And a very emotional ending, in my humble opinion. All in all, it's very wholesome. I feel there's so much lore that could be unpacked, which might have already happened, because the movie is the prequel to an animated series, which I haven't watched yet, but certainly want to. As mentioned before, I really love the animation. Even though it's so simple and clean, it's incredibly beautiful and has some really nice visuals. I also love all of the characters, but Wuxian just has to be my favorite. He's super skilled and it's apparently a running gag that he doesn't have a disciple, which is why it's such an emotional moment even for him when xiaohei calls him Shifu. He sees much potential in xiaohei and unlike Fengxi, he doesn't want to take advantage of xiaohei's power but support it, because it's the right thing to do, even if he isn't his teacher, or even though he might not receive anything in return. Wuxian is an incredibly calm person.
你还差得远。
嘿嘿，你吃醋了。
别乱用词。
你不是去抓风息了吗？
被他跑了。
Which gives his anger at the end so much more impact, but also makes some of the scenes so much funnier.
我不也给东西吃吗？不要拿食物出气。这是什么鸟？
我觉得不是他的问题。
He's righteous, but still human after all. Speaking of, since it's a xianxia movie, I was so flabbergasted to see smartphones. I mean, we've already seen that it plays in the modern age, but it still caught me completely off guard. I just love how nonchalantly Wuxian takes out his smartphone and that even spirits are using it. But since we're still talking about xianxia here, the obligatory flute scene can't be missing, of course. Lastly, I want to talk about the movie's morals. First, I love the subtle, enjoy the simple things in life in the background, because that's exactly the feeling the movie evokes in me. The bigger morale, however, is who's in the right? Fengxi, who wants to eradicate humanity because they keep on destroying spiritual territory, or the guild who tries to achieve harmony between the humans and spirits. First, we started on xiaohei and Fengxi's side, who are clearly against humans. But once we learn of the guild's motives, that sentiment slowly shifts. Because according to the guild, who consists of humans and spirits alike, it's best to live in harmony.
好不容易维系的平衡，破坏起来，可真是简单呐。
But after some consideration, I came to the conclusion that Fengxi isn't wrong actually. Because living in harmony means that the spirits have to hide their true nature, while humans continue to take and destroy as they please. Meaning the spirits have to adapt to humans so that they don't feel uncomfortable, but humans don't have to change a thing. And that's a bit unfair, to be honest. When writing the script for this video, I tried to defend the human side as well, but was at a loss for arguments.
其实我也不喜欢和人相处。以前我有个洞府啊，超漂亮的嘞。不过10几年前被开发成景区了，进去还要买票。
我可以不在这里，但总有一天，我们会无处可去的。
何必呢？还不是会被人砍做木材。
也许会变成公园呢，收门票。现在想找一处没有他们足迹的地方难哦。
This movie really tries to tell me that Feng Xi is the villain, but he's right? There's not a single argument in favor of humans and their behavior. So Feng Xi's question, why must xiao or spirits live in secrecy, is absolutely legit, in my opinion. But I also see how his methods are a bit problematic. It's obviously not okay to sacrifice other spirits to achieve his goal. His approach is too ruthless in that regard. In the end, it's all a matter of perspective. Spirits and humans are both prejudiced against each other. So both have to work on themselves, which means neither's really wrong or right in that sense. Which becomes especially obvious in this scene.
你分得清好坏吗？
当然，
好，我相信你。
风息不是坏人，你也不是。不过也好不到哪儿去。
Just like xiaohei, both sides have to work on their foundation and be open to get to know each other so the me against you turns into an us, a true and stable harmony. And I really love that message. How about you? Have you seen the movie? If so, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm so glad I waited with publishing this video because the second movie has just been released 2 weeks ago. I haven't seen it yet, but I am looking so forward to watching it, and I will most likely make a video about it as well. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. Blind recommendation from my side. If listening to random people talking about random stuff on the internet appeals to you, leave a like and subscribe. And if you have any topics you'd like to hear me ramble about, leave your suggestion in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!